Coming up on Cedar Valley today, Tour de Lou is taking a look at some new city developments.
And the secret life of resident assistants is revealed.
Plus, it's Nobel Prize season. We recap the winners so far. This is Cedar Valley Today. Breaking news from Arizona this morning.
Welcome to Cedar Valley Today. I'm Michael Benson.
And I'm Kaylin Thompson.
One person is dead after a shooting at Northern Arizona University this morning. A spokeswoman says 3 more people were injured at NAU. They've been taken to the hospital, but their condition is unclear at this point. The spokeswoman says the shooter has been arrested, and the university is currently not on lockdown. According to Newsweek magazine, there have been more than 45 school shootings in 2015.
The annual Tour de Lou in Waterloo is taking a look at residential and industrial developments across the city. The new development projects range from new apartments to a new brewery that is going up where the old Wonder Bread facility was located. This year, the city has a total of 12 sites that are undergoing improvements.
Our goal is to promote what we have that's happening, and so we kind of tailor the tour around what's new. One year we did a boat tour because of the improvements on the riverfront. This year the Tech Works is a little bit off the beaten path, but it's a big project, so it just really kind of depends on what's happening that year.
The Wartburg Sustainability Garden has moved to the corner of 7th Street Northwest and 3rd Avenue Northwest. All of the produce from the garden goes to dining services. The goal of the garden is to give a place for students to relax and add a nature-like feel to the college. Students can volunteer at the garden to keep it in good shape.
We have the garden is to help students become more aware of where their food comes from. We're finding more and more young people are becoming disconnected with food sources and not really recognizing seasonality of foods. What we call food miles, how far something has to travel from the point it was grown to the point it's on your plate and what has to happen to it. And then also being able to hopefully provide some students with the skills and knowledge to grow their own food should they ever.
Wartburg students noticed a few less residential assistants on campus this year, but it has not seemed to affect campus lives. Cedar Valley Today reporter Alyssa Kozak investigated the different schools in the Iowa Conference to see how the RAs compare.
From the first day of college to your last, a residential assistant was there to guide you through it. The smiling face that lives on your floor or in your building is the one who will help you with a lot of questions that first year and a friend by the end of your 4th year. Throughout the IIAC, the RA has the same duty.
Their ultimate goal is to be leaders on campus. We hope they have good character, good morals, so that they can help guide our students into the right direction, particularly our first-year students. Those are the ones that we're really, really concerned about here.
The IIAC schools also view their students as community builders and are responsible for holding floor programs to get everyone involved and to get to know the residents better. They are also accountable to make floor bulletin boards and door decks for each resident's door. The resident assistants become more than just the people who enforce the rules at each of the colleges.
They play a big role for emotional support for students on campus. They do anything for just being a friend. If something's going wrong in their class or if something's going wrong in their personal life, they can just be there just to listen for students, and a lot of times that's really helpful.
The RAs are expected to be on duty 24/7 in case of an emergency and have office hours each night that they are expected to be available for on their assigned night. They also make rounds during their shift in case there's any problems going on that they may not be aware of. Those who are RAs do go through an intensive training at the beginning of each year to make sure they are ready to take action in any situation.
We did talk to some of the directors of residence life and deans of students at 6 of the 8 schools in the Iowa Conference. Most of the answers were the same throughout, with each school having an average of 1 residential assistant to 30 residents, depending on what year of school they are in.
Coming up, we'll take a look at the Nobel Conference held this past week.
Stay with us.
You live in the fast lane. We get that. Nothing can slow you down, not even managing your finances. Stay on the move with Farmer State Bank's mobile app. Deposit checks and transfer money quickly and securely. Farmers State Bank. Ready for the app? Visit us online today.
You're an active person. You always want the best from your body. And when an injury slows you down, you turn to the best. At the Waverly Health Center Orthopedic Clinic, Dr. Linda Martin, nurse practitioner Carrie Van E, and the Health Center team offer cutting-edge technology and personal patient-centered care. Knee and hip injuries, muscle strains and tears, no matter what sidelines you. Let our team get you back in the game. Waverly Health Center. We make a difference you can feel.
With the announcement of the Nobel Peace Prize winner today, let's take a look at the other 2015 winners in the Nobel Conference. 5 Nobel Prizes have been announced thus far. The prizes for physics, chemistry, literature, and physiology or medicine have been announced. The Nobel Peace Prize will be announced today at 11 a.m., and the Nobel Prize for Economic Sciences will be announced at Monday at 1 p.m. Let's go to Kaylin at the desk.
Dr. Stephanie Toyne-Peters is in the studio to talk about the Nobel Conference she attended this past week. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. So can you kind of talk to us about the conference you attended?
Sure. Gustavus Adolphus College hosts the Nobel Conference every year. This was their 51st conference. And each year they pick a theme, and they invite a previous Nobel Prize winner to give a keynote address, and then other experts in the field. Usually they have at least one philosopher or ethicist to talk about that issue, and they have panels. And a large part of the conference is outreach to high school students and getting science to a general audience.
Wow. So who did you all go to the conference with?
Well, there were 4 faculty members that went this year and 8 students. And it was organized by Ben Bousquet in the physics department. He organizes it almost every year.
Okay. So you said the theme was addiction. And why is this topic important?
Well, I think it really came out at the conference that we all come with preconceived notions about what addiction is. Addiction is no longer defined as a disorder by the DSM, which is the manual for psychiatrists. And there was a lot of question among the speakers at the conference about what is the difference between drug use and drug abuse and addiction. And so it's clear that people need to talk about this and try to understand what we really know about addiction and how that's different than drug use.
Definitely. So the keynote speaker, you said it was a past winner,
Mm-hmm.
And then there were also other speakers. What other speakers did you attend?
Well, I went to all of the major lectures except for the final one, but Dr. Carl Hart, I think, was the best talk. And what I really liked about his talk was that he liked to talk. He did a good job of talking about his science, which I'm a scientist, so I like that. But he really did a good job of talking about the biases that scientists bring to their work, because we're human just like everybody else, and how those biases in even the questions that we ask as scientists then affect how we view the results, and also how those results are translated into society and what kinds of societal effects those can have. So his talk was really great because it really bridged the gap between science and society, and I think made people in the audience think about what they know and what they don't know and what their assumptions are.
So like as a professor, what do you think the students really took away from this?
I think one of the unique things about the Nobel Conference is that after the speakers speak, they actually have a panel of all the speakers and they ask each other questions. And I think this year there was a tension between some of the speakers. They have very different views of addiction and what drug abuse is, and there were some sharp words exchanged, and I think that really opened our students' eyes that even prominent scientists disagree with each other.
Definitely. Well, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Information for next year's conference can be found on the Gustavus Adolphus College website. And now let's take a look at your weather. To find the next Speaker of the House.
House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy dropped out of the race to succeed retiring Speaker John Boehner yesterday. The California Republican was believed to be the favorite to succeed Boehner and appeared to have the votes to win the GOP nomination for the post. In a statement, McCarthy said he withdrew when it became clear to him that the House Republicans were deeply divided. But Boehner postponed the vote to a later date. Jeb Bush voiced his thoughts on the change and while in Indianola yesterday.
I was surprised. I think Kevin McCarthy was a good person, a good man. I'm surprised that he dropped out. I don't follow that carefully. I'm not going to interject myself into a political vote inside the House caucus.
Coming up next,
we have a look at what's trending on today's social media.
Stay with us.
When was the last time you got hyped up about your checking account? It's easy at State Bank. With Hype Checking, you can earn up to 2.04% APY on balances up to $25,000. Plus, get a free debit card with unlimited transactions, reimbursement up to $15 in ATM fees per cycle, free online banking, mobile banking, bill pay, and more. Get hyped up at State Bank with checking that earns you more. Open yours today. State Bank. Community-minded, customer-focused. Member FDIC.
It's internet and TV like never before. Introducing Extreme. With extreme flexibility to watch live TV on your favorite devices in your home. Plus the power to watch your DVR shows on the go. Extreme speeds up to 150 meg. And an ultra-fast Wi-Fi system built for multi-streaming HD. You can even access popular apps on your TV. Simple, powerful, extreme. New from MediaCom.
Now a look at today's trending stories. Holmes Junior High will be celebrating its 50th anniversary this Sunday, October 11th. With an open house from 1 to 4 p.m., there will be refreshments and students providing tours of the building while sharing artifacts from the past 50 years. Special thanks to Mr. McCormick and his Advanced Tech and Art class for developing invitations for the event. The winning entry was designed by Holmes students Jacob Hall, Jackson Maven, Tavish McKinley, and Jaden Thompson.
The Waverly Police Department was one of 3,892 law enforcement agencies that joined the DEA to prevent pill abuse and theft. They did this by offering a drop-off site where people could rid their homes of potentially dangerous, expired, unused, and unwanted prescription drugs. Waverly collected 36 pounds of medication. The Waverly Police Department wants to thank all that took advantage of this opportunity. And coming up, we'll take a look at your weekend.
We'll be back in a minute.
What's next for your future?
Will it be worth it?
Will it lead you on a journey of discovery?
To embrace your passions.
Unlock your potential?
And realize your purpose.
With Wartburg, you can.
And you will, because you are worth it.
Wartburg. Worth it.
Schedule your campus visit and learn how Wartburg is worth it at wartburg.edu/worthit.
As Wartburg alumni, we're proud to support Knights Athletics And as First National Bank employees, we're here to serve you first.